Happy Irva. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me today, especially you bogans. All you bogans out there. Actually, this was suggested by somebody. Let's see, Steve Hart. Shout out to Steve. I've actually been waiting to react to this one for a long time, because I always try to wait a year, after it's uploaded. And it's been a year, okay? What the heck? Yorak Hunt. Check them out, link down below. That sounds like one of those names. Oh, yeah. They got me. They got me. It is indeed one of those names. Yeah. Moving on. Bogans. It's just titled Bogans.
Yeah, some days I feel unfazed, like when I'm with my friends with a cup raised. Monday, I got a gun raised, suicidal to a dime till hump day, then I go right back at it like an automatic. More drinks, more.
Okay, that's brilliant. A cooler scooter.
Songs, more beats to rap. I need a shrink, I'm gone. More time keeps passing, no watch, no thoughts at all. Just
so far I've seen that Bogans have high ingenuity. They're motivated. They're creative. Seem like great people.
New era, rep my P's and those O's. Need the Phillies with the orange and black to feel home. From Citizens Bank back to Camden Yards. It's a tale of two cities and trust we go hard.
I've actually reacted to a couple of these clips.
Trust we go hard, yes we
the full videos.
Go hard. You said we go hard, I said we go hard.
See what I'm talking about?
Stocking up on the loose, the lyrics come easy, but the life is a doozy. And yes, I'm choosy, and no, I won't settle, but I still take pop off over that kettle, cause I'm talking bigger picture. And yes,
see, that's a bad Bogan.
I'm gonna hit you with the...
One of the most important parts about Australia are the native animals. Animals such as kangaroos, koalas, wombats, dingoes, maggots, just to name a few. Our unique collection of native creatures sets us apart from the rest of the world. But in today's video, we'll be focusing on what is arguably the most important native species in all of Australia. And if you've read the title of this video, you'll already know that that species is the bogan. As I mentioned before, the bogan is native to Australia.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know the Bogan could be that's an older Bogan, huh?
Yeah, and shares a lot of DNA with the American redneck.
Ah, okay. Yeah, redneck can be old or redneck can be young. Wow, okay, that helps.
Just because these two creatures share a lot of DNA doesn't mean that they're anything alike.
Oh,
so in this
kind of like a banana in humans.
video, I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about the different types of bogans, where to find them, and how to spot them. So without further ado, let's get into it. We'll start off by answering the question, what is a bogan? A bogan is a subspecies of human that can be found in every town, city, and corner of the Australian continent. Usually
they're that widespread.
Spotted driving a Holden Commodore with a red flannelette shirt on, wearing footy shorts, thongs, and speed dealer sunglasses, topped off with a dodgy mullet. The bogan is a truly unique creature. Some hobbies of the bogan include drinking, gambling,
they seem fun to hang out with,
and drinking. And all those hobbies that I just mentioned are entirely funded by Centrelink. So now that you sort of know what
is that where they work?
Bogan is, we're going to get into where you can find them. Bogans have many different habitats, which means that if you want to go find one, there's many different places where you can go looking. But thanks to my PhD in boganology, over the years while I've been studying this native Australian creature, I've come up with a list of places where you're most likely to find a bogan in their natural habitat. First up, we have summer gnats. It's no secret that bogans love burnouts, and if they're not smoking the glass barbecue, they're out there smoking tires. Whether it's a $200 AU Falcon with no rear brakes or a $200,000 HSV Maloo, there's nothing a bogan loves more than a good burnout. So it's only natural
So far, the correlation between rednecks and bogans is strong.
that once a year when Summer Nats is on in Canberra, hundreds of thousands of bogans make the annual pilgrimage down to the Holy Lands to get a piece of the action.
Chewy.
Another place just as common for bogan spotting is Bathurst. Just like Summer Nats, Bathurst is held once every year and has the three things that all bogans need: Holden, sort of,
So this is like NASCAR.
Ford, and alcohol. At the time this video gets uploaded, 2023's Bathurst has came and went, and as per usual, with
Which the rednecks love as well.
it came some great bogan moments. Another
Bogans just like cars, huh?
common location for bogan congregation is Bali, with cheap beer, cheap cigarettes, and only a 50% chance you're gonna end up with food poisoning. Bali is the ultimate destination for a bogan holiday. All a bogan needs to be happy is cheap alcohol, cheap cigarettes, cool clothes like this that they can get from the link in the description, and easy access to anything with an engine. And
What is Bali?
luckily enough for Australia's bogan population, Bali has all three readily available.
Is Bali like the what is it? Is it a country? Bali? Is it a city? What is it? Is that what we're talking about? The island?
And that, of course, means a whole lot of this.
They make it all the way to Bali?
You gonna do those helmets up? Oi, brother! How are ya? Hey, mate, are you right to drive? Oh, no. What are you doing driving the bike? I'm blind.
Now, some other places you'll also spot bogans back in the homeland include the Pokies, the pub, the Pokies room at the pub, Dan Murphy's, the back of a divvy van, and of course, Centrelink.
See, now, rednecks they're not big into the slot machines. Well, some are. That's usually when they get a little bit like into retirement. You know, they gotta spend their Social Security money somewhere.
Okay, so now you're clued up on what a bogan is and where to find them. But there's a lot more to the bogan species than just beer and burnouts.
Of course.
But just like how a bogan is an offshoot of the human species, there are many different offshoots from the bogan species. So just like dogs,
Ashes.
spiders, and hepatitis, when it comes to bogans, there are many different types. The first type of bogan that we're going to be getting into is the stereotypical bogan. This is the sort of bogan who wears nothing but flannelette shirts and footy shorts, lives off Centrelink, and has little to no teeth.
So what is Centrelink? Centrelink. Centrelink Master Program. Services Australia Master Program of the Australian government. What the hell does that mean? What did I just read? Is a Services Australia Master Program. I don't know what that means. Delivers a range of government payments and services for retirees. Ah. Got it. Got it. So it is the Social Security money.
There has been many documentaries made about the stereotypical bogan. Some of the most notable ones include Howzos, Bogan Hunters, and A Current Affair. The easiest place to find a stereotypical bogan is at the front of Dan Murphy's at 8 AM on a Wednesday. These sort of bogans spend all their money on alcohol, child support, and hooning fines. And once in a blue moon where they manage to save up $500 on the side, they get straight onto Facebook Marketplace, buy a brand new second-hand VT Commodore, weld the diff, and add to their collection of hooning fines. The stereotypical bogan lives a simple life. As I mentioned before, as long as they have access to alcohol, cigarettes, and anything that they can do
What else could you want?
a burnout in, they'll be happy as Larry. So with that being
They're
said,
simple men.
we'll get into
Can a woman be a bogan?
our next type of bogan, and
Rare breed, huh?
that is the cashed up bogan. Unlike the stereotypical bogan, the cashed up bogan has something called a job. Whether it's laying bricks, selling bricks, or performing open heart surgeries, cashed up bogans come in all shapes and sizes. You may be wondering what makes someone a cashed up bogan, and luckily for you, I have the answer to that question. There's only two Two criteria that you need to fill to be considered a cashed up
You
bogan.
need to have money.
The first one being having a
Rich bogans.
job, and the second one being owning any turbocharged
So being cashed up into a bogan is just working at Burger King or Hungry Jack's. That's a cashed up bogan because most of them don't have any job. So to them, you're rich. That's pretty cool.
Falcon or V8 Commodore that's worth more than 25 grand. If you successfully fill these two criterias, it shows us that you worked hard, saved up your money, and still decided to buy one of the two Bogan chariots. The cashed up Bogan is a rare breed, and for the last few years of the production
So they don't drive utes. I'm kind of surprised about that. Because the rednecks, of course, you'd drive a pickup truck.
of the Ford Falcon and the Holden Commodore, the cashed up Bogans were the lifeline that Holden and Ford needed to buy their cars and delay the bankruptcy. You see, between 2013 and 2017, car prices were at an all-time low, and that was especially true for V8 Commodores and XR6 Turbos. So naturally, it only made sense for all the other Bogans to buy the cheap second-hand
How many Fords are in Australia?
ones for a few $1,000s.
I'm looking that up. I mean, I wouldn't have thought any, really. Like, hardly any. How many Fords does Australia import? Is that an answerable question? $66,000 units in 2022? Making Ford one of the top-selling brands in the country. Ford Australia. Do you guys assemble Ford cars? Ford Australia started assembling Model Ts. Wow, that's pretty OG. That's as OG as it gets. Okay, so production really ended around 2013. Damn. But there's still 1,800 employees, so they're still doing something at Ford Australia.
Meaning that they had more of the other Bogans to buy the cheap second-hand ones for a few $1,000s, meaning that they had more money left over for VB and Winnie Blues, meaning that the only real customers Ford and Holden had for the cars worth more than 60 grand were the few and far between cashed-up Bogans who didn't already own a 79 Series Land Cruiser.
That thing's pretty cool. Oh, wow.
But those days are
That's dope. I'm not gonna lie.
over. These days you'll find cashed-up Bogans driving around in a brand new Ram TRX, Chevy
Okay, so they do have the pickup truck.
Silverado, LTZ, or occasionally a green VF Maloo. But now that we've explored both ends of the Bogan spectrum, we've got to look further into the middle. So that brings us on
That's just one axis.
to the average Bogan. The average Bogan falls smack bang in the middle of the stereotypical Bogan and the cashed up Bogan. You see, everyone has
That dude's cooler was leaking
in the middle
beer.
of the stereotypical
Oh my god, what a tragedy. Sprung a leak.
Bogan and the cashed up Bogan. You see, everyone has a little bit of Bogan in them. For example, if you've ever actually enjoyed the taste of VB or unironically own a flannelette shirt, you fall onto the Bogan spectrum. And this is where the average Bogan comes in. The average Bogan may live a normal life with
I need to get my hands on a VB and see if I have a little bit of bogan
a
in.
normal job and be a somewhat respected member of society. But that doesn't mean that here and there they don't enjoy a bit of AU Falcon action, Centrelink rotations,
doesn't.
VB annihilation, and a trip to Bali every couple of years. All in all, most of the time Bogans get a bad rap. But at the end of the day, there's not one person in the whole of Australia who lives a Bogan-free lifestyle. And there's no one in Australia that can admit that there's nothing more fun than having a few drinks and riding a old dirt bike around someone's backyard.
Oh
And
yeah.
on that note, it's time to end. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like.
I am, you are a bogan. Go check out this guy's channel. That was pretty epic. Thank you for watching. You know what? I'm curious to read a comment. As an islander who has unironically worn a flannelette shirt, I feel like I just committed a war crime and was never caught. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.